about human behaviour and relationships thereof. Last bit of business this morning. Do you remember we had a lot of fun back and forth there about a week ago, and we had lots of texts and calls on it with regards to whether or not it's acceptable to, say you break up, right, and you found your forever partner. But lo and behold, it seems up in the attic, all too many people have keepsakes from former relationships. It could be love letters. It could be photo albums. It could be pictures from an ex over the years, or maybe even more of them, of holiday snaps that you've kept, jewellery that you were given by your ex-partner, items of clothing. Somebody keeps a sweater of an ex-boyfriend, for instance, Valentine's cards, birthday cards. And I was making the point that, you know, tattoos of an ex, you know, what are you supposed to do with all these things? So the jury's out on this as to whether or not they need to be got rid of, recycled, binned, taken out of your life, or whether you should keep them as kind of a fond remembrance of days gone by. But for your partner, is it not disrespectful? A question I want to put to Frances Kelleher, the life coach and dating expert. Morning to you, Frances. Is it not disrespectful?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on again, Neil. I think, to be honest, Neil, like most people don't want that. They don't want the past coming into their now, and I'm all for living in the now. But what I would say is it does depend on the individuals. It is an individual thing, definitely, but it depends on the situation as well. So if you've met someone and you're dating a month or two, you're living in separate houses, you know, you're not sharing the same space, you're not married, you're not life partners, you're not living in the same place together. It is a different scenario to when you're deciding to build a life together and you've bought a new house together, for example, and you've moved in. You know, it is a different arena then. But most people, they don't, you know, want to upset their partner. They might have a little box of trinkets and, like you say, the pictures and stuff that they've stored away that they could have even forgotten about. It could have been up in their attic for 10 years and then it's discovered and they're like thinking, God, I didn't even realise.
No, in some of the cases they do revisit from time to time. I had callers on the air and texts last week from people who keep it in their mum's and dad's house.
Okay, that's different.
It's kind of sinister and disrespect. Like I have nothing from former life. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably the way it should be.
I think, to be honest, it is the way to go because I agree, Neil, because I'll tell you why. First of all, you know, you have to ask yourself, how would I feel if this was me? If my
or if you discovered it.
Exactly. How would I feel? You know, you have to live in the now. It's grand to have the past and it's in your memory, but you have to be respectful to the partner you have now, and their feelings have to come ahead of a box of trinkets. So, for instance, if somebody came and said, you know, this is really upsetting me, I don't want to feel this way. How would you feel if I was acting like this? You know, you have to put your own partner's feelings first. And I'll tell you two stories that are very interesting. If you want to meet someone, if you're single and you're looking to meet someone, you know, it's very important to declutter and clear the road. I had two clients. One girl, she had a very bad experience with her past relationship. He had cheated. The other girl, the guy was very nasty to her. She wanted to forget about him completely. One girl got rid of every single thing she had belonged to him. The other girl did the exact same, including photos, burnt everything. One girl within 4 months, Neil, very fast, 4 months met her husband, and the second girl within 6 months met her husband. Are you
suggesting that decluttering of your past in those two cases, very negative relationships, can be actually quite powerful?
110%. It is very powerful. I've seen other people do this. They say, okay, I'm done with the past. I'm living in the now. Because now is the only power we have.
But what about, say, somebody who... Okay, has a life partner, might even have children, but has kept a lot of his or her past. And I don't know whether it's more of a female thing than a man thing.
I think it is.
I think it possibly is. But actually, it's almost like it's a regret. Let's say in the case of a woman, she shouldn't have ended that relationship with him, and how is he now and what happened with the rest of his life? Or if I could go back again, I would have been happier. Do you know, that's what I would be reading into it.
It's a great point, Neil, a great point. And I'll tell you, you know, nostalgia is a very dangerous thing. We have heard of, I think, years ago, a bishop made an announcement about the Facebook, about that to protect your marriage. Don't be hooking up with people on Facebook that you knew in your past, because so many affairs, he had heard that from the people that were having affairs, that, I regret it now, I'm having an affair. I contacted an ex on Facebook, and the nostalgia got the better of me, and we hooked up, and I had an affair. So nostalgia is a very dangerous emotion. So the best thing you can do is put to the forefront your life now, have no regrets. What's for you doesn't go by you. People think sometimes with nostalgia, if woulda, shoulda, coulda, if this had happened. That's not reality.
Like faraway hills, is it? Or grass is always greener on the other side kind of thing. What about tattoos?
Yes. Oh, tattoos. Now, let's be honest. Who wants to look at a tattoo of a past relationship on your present partner every day, that it's visible? Who I don't know any person who, you'd even ask that wants that. Even Johnny Depp had a tattoo of Winona Ryder. I don't know whether you know that, Winona Ryder, and he put Wino Forever over it when they split up.
Said she was as happy with that. But what? So should they go then? What I'd say, for instance, an expensive gift like a Rolex or a BMW or jewellery that's dripping in gold. Does all that have to go from an ex?
Well, what I have suggested to some of my clients is, could you not sell it and do something for you and your new partner? Go on holiday with the money. For example, if there was an expensive painting, one girl was saying, I got this gift as a birthday present from my ex. It's very expensive. I don't want to just put it in the dumpster, put it in the bin. What do I do? And I said, could you not sell it and then maybe go on a holiday with your partner? And that's what she did. And they had a ball. They had a ball. They went to the Bahamas. So,
but the letters would have to go. I mean, it's 2025. Who writes letters anymore? But do you know what I mean?
Yes, I think you have to, take in it. I have met other people that said, I've no problem. It's her past. It's only a box. It's a Valentine's card and something. I don't take any notice. I know she's mine. We've built a life together. It's just.
So what's she doing with Valentine's cards of the ex? I think that's a deal breaker. And worse again, why keep it secret if there's nothing wrong?
Yeah, she wasn't keeping it secret, but I agree. Anything that is secret is shady. Anything you're hiding that's a secret, there's a problem there. That would be a red flag. But this girl, she had concert tickets that she went to with her sister, back when she was 16. She kept a little thing almost of the past, of all of her past in a little box. And he said, I've no problem. But the problem arises is when the partner does have a problem. And my advice is put your present life and your present partner's feelings first above the past. You can have the memories, you can have them locked in, especially, I've heard people that they've come, I think the email that came into you was, my partner has pictures on their phone still of their ex. That's a big deal breaker, I would say.
Yeah. Does anybody keep scrapbooks anymore? Remember scrapbooks years and years ago?
I used
to post and glue everything in.
Yes, they were brilliant. But you have to start keeping memories of your present time and your happy life now, and give it your all now and release the past. Let it go. That's my advice.
Well said, and thank you for it. Frances Kelleher, as always, your thoughts are welcome. Frances Kelleher is the life coach and dating expert. You can follow her on social. Get involved in the conversation. Text 0868 104 106. You need to pick a free Food Friday